Here's another stoichiometry where they simply give you the mass of one substance and ask you about the mass of another. I'm going to follow my 5-step process. First thing I'm going to do is write and balance the equation. They tell me that potassium chlorate decomposes, so I know it's the only reactant. It's going to make potassium chloride. Potassium's +1, chlorine's -1. Oxygen gas. Oxygen's diatomic. I'm looking at the oxygens and seeing the classic 3-2, where I'm going to probably need to put a 3 here to make 6 oxygens and a 2 there. But now I got 2 KCl, so I put a 2 there. Step 1, I've balanced the equation. When I read this, it's going to tell me that I start with 250 grams of potassium chlorate. That's a reactant. And they're asking how many grams of oxygen gas. So it tips me off as to what the important things are going to be that I'm going to look for in the BCA table. I don't need to make a complete BCA table. I'm starting with grams of potassium chlorate. Potassium chlorate, I'm going to have to convert that into moles of potassium chlorate. Convert to moles if it is in grams. If I have 2.5 grams of KClO3, I have to figure out how much 1 mole of KClO3 is. So I add up 3 oxygens, a chlorine, and a potassium, and I'm going to get a grand total of 122.5 grams. I used my periodic table for that. So when I calculate that out, I'm going to get 0.02 moles potassium chlorate. So what are the important boxes? Potassium chlorate, that's what they tell us that we start with, and if you want to, you can identify as what you're starting or given. And they're going to ask us about oxygen gas. Of course, we're going to start with 0 and 0 of the products. The only really important other box that I need is how much oxygen gas. So I'm looking for the link between these two boxes. If I start with not 2.5 but 0.02 moles of potassium chlorate, I have to ask myself, how many moles of oxygen should I make? Well, according to the coefficients, 3 moles of oxygen are made when you start with 2 moles of potassium chlorate. So the ratio is a 3 to 2. I'm going to take my 0.02 moles over here on my scrap paper and multiply it by 3 to 2 ratio, and I'm going to get 0.03 moles. I will make 0.03 moles of oxygen. Convert to moles, I did that. Set up a BCA table, I just filled in the important stuff. Now it's 0.03 moles, I have to convert to grams. 0.03 moles of oxygen. How do I do that? Moles goes on bottom. This time what goes on top is a mole of oxygen, and it's got to be O2. O is 16, so O2 is 32 grams, equals 0.96 grams of oxygen. That's a gram to gram